Hello, welcome to another lesson. In the last lesson, we learned batch scripts with variables and user input. And in this lesson, we'll be learning conditionals and loops. Conditionals and loops let our scripts make decisions and repeat tasks automatically. And this is where batch gets really powerful. Let's dive in. To start this, ensure that you have your Kali Linux started or any preferred Linux operating system that you're using. After that, we are going to create a file where we want to write our script. And I'm going to use the touch command and type agecheck.sh. And you can see the new file I just created here, which is agecheck.sh. The next thing I will do is to type in the code, and now you can see the full code here. For the first line here, this is shebang, and this tells our system that we are running bash. Here we are having echo, which means we want to display this to the user. And after that, we want to collect an input from the user using the read command, and we are getting the age input. And this is where our conditional statement starts from. Here you can see that I'm saying if age is greater than or equals to 18, that is what -GE18 means. Then we are going to run this. And if age is not greater than or equals to 18, we are going to run this. And that is the essence of this else statement. So after you have written this, the next thing you want to do is to make the file executable by changing the mode. So you're going to add the name of the file there, and then you're going to hit enter. Let me bring this up a bit. After you are done that, you can now try to run the command. And to do that, you're going to type /check.sh, and you're going to hit enter. We didn't save our code, so let's save and rerun the command. Now you can see that it's asking for my age. I can say 18, hit enter, and you can see that it's telling me that I'm an adult. From here, you can see the statement. It's saying that if age is greater than or equals to 18, then it should display you are an adult. But if it is something less than that, then it should display you are a minor. And you can see that our code is working correctly. So if I should try to run it again, and then I'm saying my age is 13, now you can see that it has displayed you are a minor. After we have done that, we can clear the screen. Now let's consider the comparison operators. And these are operators that we use to compare between two statements or two values. I'll write a code now, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So before then, let me try to create a file and name it comparisons.sh. Now you can see the file here. So I'm going to open the file, and this is my code. Here you can see that this is my shebang, and here I'm creating two different variables. The first variable is 10. The second variable is 20. So that means that I'm declaring a variable, then I'm storing 10 inside the first one, which is num1. And for num2, I'm storing 20 inside. And now this is where my conditional statement starts from. You can see it from here. I'm saying if number 1 is equals to number 2, then you should say that echo numbers are equal. Else if, that is what the elif means. Else if number 1 is less than number 2, then echo number 1 is less than number 2. Else, which is the last one, because we can have if, elif, then else. And if after this elif you still have another condition you want to consider, you can still use another elif and another one until you are satisfied with the conditions. And at the end of everything, you are going to end it with the last condition, which is else. And for else, you can see that I'm having num1 is greater than num2, which means that if num1 is equals to num2, we are going to output numbers are equal. If num1 is less than num2, we are going to output num1 is less than num2. And if these two does not exist, you already know that the last one would be num1 being greater than num2. And that is why we are using else here, and we are saying that echo num1 is greater than num2. So if the first two statements does not exist, then this would run. Now let's try to save the code, then make the file executable by changing the mode. And after that comparison, you type the name of the file. After I've done that, then I need to run the command now. So I just need to run it by typing /comparisons.sh. Now run it. And now you can see that 10 is less than 20 because we had already defined our num1 to be 10 and num2 to be 20. Also from here, you can see that we are getting the values dynamically because we are defining the variables here and we are just calling them inside our conditional statement block. Now that we have a good understanding of comparison operators, let's now move to file tests. The thing is, in batch scripting, scripts often need to check if files exist. And how can they do that? Let's try to check that out. So let's clear our screen first. Then after that, I can create a new file and name it file_check. .sh. We are using sh because it's a shell script. And I can come here to click on the file. So now I'm inside the file. So the next thing I want to do is to type in my script, and here is the script. And if you look at the script, this is my shebang. And here I'm having echo enter a file name. At this point, I'm collecting the name of the file. And here I'm writing some conditional statement. See this F flag here. What it does is that it tests if something is a file. Also, you can see D here. So what the D flag does is that it is testing if it is a directory. Both F flag and D flag are super useful for security scripts that check if configuration files exist. So what we can do now is to save this code and try to run it. The first thing we want to do is to make the file executable. So I'm going to type the name of the file, which is file.sh. Then after that, I want to run the script by just typing // then the name of the file, which is file_check.sh. And now it is requesting a file name. So I can just type a name to any of the files that is here. So let me just type hello.sh. And now you can see the final output. It's saying hello.sh exists and is a file. And that means that this is the one that runs. You can see echo file name, which is the file name that we had supplied here. You can see this is hello.sh from here. And now you can see file name exists and is a file. And the file name is hello.sh. So we are just adding exists and is a file to it. What if the file does not exist? So I can come back here and try to rerun this. And when it is asking for the file name, I can just type maybe good.txt and run it. And now you can see that it's telling me good.txt does not exist, because if you look at all the files here, there is nothing like good.txt there. And that means this block is the one that is running because the file does not exist and also the directory does not exist. So I didn't type in a directory. And since both file and directory do not exist, then this is the block that runs. And now you can see good.txt, which is the file name I supplied, does not exist. Now I want us to consider loops for repeating tasks. What loops do is that they repeat commands multiple times. Also, we have different types of loop, and one of them is for loop. So to have a good understanding of what loops do, let's create a for loop first. So I can clear my screen and I can create a new file. I will name that for loop.sh. The file is open, so I can open it from here. Now this is the script. So if you look at the script, this is the shebang. And here we are printing something on the screen. And what are we printing? Counting from 1 to 5. Then after that, we are starting our for loop from here. And we are saying that for I in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what the for loop is doing here is that it is iterating over that list, that is 1 to 5. And after that, the do command here starts the loop body and the done ends the loop. The asterisk.sh we are having here expands to all files ending with sh. And when we run the script, you're going to see what it does properly. So let's try to run that. First thing, let's make the file executable. You hit enter. And after that, we can run the script, but do not forget to save your code first. Then you hit enter. And if you should bring this up to see what is happening clearly, you can see the output here. And what the script is doing in summary is that it is going to count from 1 to 5 and then list all of my batch scripts. This is perfect for processing multiple files in security work. And if you look at the loop very well, as we are counting from here, the for loop is picking the number from this list one after the other, and then we are calling the number here. So if the for loop picks 1, then we are going to add 1 here. If the for loop picks 2, then we are going to add the 2 here. And that is why you are seeing number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. So as the for loop is picking it, then we are also echoing number and we are adding the number that the for loop is picking in front of it. And that is the essence of this $i that is here. And after that one is done, we are now trying to echo checking all .sh files. So it's going to check all the .sh files that we have in the current directory. And it's now saying that for file in sh, that is for file in what we have searched, then what it's going to do is that it's going to echo found scripts and it's going to echo all the files that has .sh extension that were found when the script was running. And that was what happened here. Also, we have another loop which is called the while loop. And the while loop runs as long as a condition is true. To see how that works, let's clear our terminal, create a file, and name it while loop.sh. You can see that here, so open it. and try to type in the script. And this is what the script looks like. We are defining a variable called count and we are setting it to 5. And here we are echoing countdown. So countdown is going to display on the screen. And this is where our while loop is starting from. So we are saying while count is greater than 0. In as much the count is greater than 0, then what will happen? That is where the do comes in. We are going to output that count, and then we are now going to say count is equals to count minus 1, and then this is going to sleep for 1 second. After that, we are adding done to end our loop, and after that, we are echoing blast off. So we can try to run this. Don't forget to save your script before running. So the first thing is that we're going to make our file executable. Then you type while loop.sh. And after you have done that, then you want to run the script to see what it looks like. And you're going to hit enter. And now you can see that it is counting down from 5 down to 1. And finally, it is showing blast off. It is counting down from 5 because that is what we are doing here. Inside our loop, we are setting new counts to be the previous count minus 1. For the first one, since our previous count is 5, at this point, the count will be 4 because we are saying that our new count is equals to 5 minus 1, which will be 4. And as the loop is running again, in as much we have not gotten to this point where our count is 0 or less than 0, this loop will continue to run. And what will continue to happen is that the new count would be the old count minus 1. So after that of 5 has run, we are going to have 4. Then after that of 4 has run, we are going to have 3. After that, we will have 2. After that, we'll have 1. And once we have 1, then you can see that the while loop condition won't exist again. That means that we are going to be having a value that is not greater than 1. The script is going to terminate, and that is where the done comes in, and it is going to echo blast off. So pretty much that is what is happening there. So this is where we are going to end for this lesson. But before we go, I have a challenge question for you. And that is, what is the difference between single and double square brackets in Bash? I'll come again. What is the difference between single and double square brackets in Bash? That's all for this lesson. If you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please do that now. Also, do not forget to like, share, and comment. We have amazing videos that we're going to drop in the future. So please subscribe and turn on your post notification. Thank you and see you in the next lesson.